a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BRimes.
And welcome to the show. Thank you for spending some time with us here. Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency, in studio with us. We're going to talk about true crime. You know, Jennie is at the title company. They're always looking and making sure they're busting these crimes. So we had Alex kind of coined it. Alex, you want to coin the episode for today? What are we going to talk about today?
True crime and myth busting with the one and only Jennie Restrepo.
That's
Delivering
right.
Delivering you all the truth.
There you go. I love it.
We got a fire show. I feel it.
It's coming up. That's right. We're also going to talk about the NAR settlement, too, the EBBA. It's an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. We're going to talk about that. A lot of changes. So we're trying to get some new information out, timely information out to the consumers out there around real estate, credit, finance, these different areas of business, title insurance, of course. And so Jennie coming up here in a minute. Nick Schriver decorating Elves, as well as Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, rounding out our show. Plus, a feel-good story as well. You know, I thought we would do this a little bit earlier in the show today, so we'll have this in the next segment. So parents reveal the pros and cons of having adult kids still living at home. So kind of an interesting story. We'll throw that in our second segment with Jennie here today, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout-out to our friends at Solar Bear. If you're thinking about adding solar on to your property, Solar Bear is who we recommend. Blake M. Brester over at solarbear.com. Check him out online, solarbear.com. Free estimates, and all you have to do is click them at solarbear.com. And Blake M. Brester has been on the show, so if you search YouTube or Rumble with Blake M. Brester on the Consumer Quarterback Show, you'll find all of his information, that great interview that he had as well. Thursday, August 15th, coming up just around the corner, Tampa Bay Brewing Company. That is our monthly gratitude party, business mixer, happy hour, networking event. So come on out, and you are invited. Our audience, yes, you are invited. If you're listening to this, you're invited. Come on out. Thursday, August 15th, 6 o'clock, Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We're going to have first drink provided, compliments of Joe Duffin with First American Home Warranty. Appetizers provided as well. We're going to have the food there, and also a private tour. So great opportunity to come out and engage with us and bring any questions you have, and just bring your business cards too. A lot of times people like to come out and network with us. So come on and do that. All right, hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We've got beautiful property, 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach. I love this listing. Gorgeous property. Compliments of Aaron Foley on the Platinum MVP team. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot single family home. Exclusive Bel Air Beach location. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances. Saltwater pool. 100 linear feet of water frontage on the deep water canal. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area as well. And you're only 1 block to the beach access. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach. Great opportunity from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 3101 Old Archer Road. This one's in Gainesville, Florida. So we've got pre-construction luxury condos available for sale in Gainesville. So where are my University of Florida football fans or baseball, basketball? 1.5 miles to the university. Starting price is in the low 400s up to the 900s. That's for your penthouses. And you got floor plans ranging from 1 bed, 2 bath up to 3 bed, 3 bath as well. Pre-construction luxury pricing that is 10% off retail. 3101 Old Archer Road in Gainesville. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Jennie Restrepo back in studio. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Always good to have you. And we jump in, into these different tips. When I look back too at some of our segments, we've had some great segments here where we're dropping a lot of knowledge around the property fraud alerts and things like that as well.
Yes. Well, one thing I did want to say about the featured listing 221 Howard Drive is Insured Title Agency has checked this property, because when we work with the Platinum MVP team, we look at all of the listings up front as soon as we get the listing agreement. So this one has clear title, no liens, no defects. In fact, Aaron has a beautiful book that's right there on the kitchen counter that includes an insurance quote, what type of loans you can use to buy this property, buyer's title quote. So you've got everything that you need when you're thinking about making an offer on this beautiful property, that you know there's not going to be any surprises once you go under contract.
Yeah,
at least not from our side.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's hard to say, right? Like, you got insurance, title, mortgage, all these different parts, inspections coming into play. But that is one step that we do take to try to insure and what we call bulletproof the deal.
Exactly. So Brandon's team is extremely proactive. They want to make sure all of the things that we can know ahead of time, we do know. And then that way you as a buyer, when you're looking at one of the Platinum MVP team's listings, you can ask for this information. All of the agents on the team have it for their listings. And it's a great way to know that when you're making this offer, there's not going to be something surprising coming up. And it's a great way to vet an agent before your listing is, are you doing all of these things for me as seller? Because for the seller, of course, once you get a buyer and you get a wonderful offer and you're under contract, you want to see it get closed. You don't want to get close to the finish line and have something come up that could have been found out way ahead of time. So it is truly the proactive agents that take that extra step and work with someone like Insured Title Agency, get this stuff done at listing. It's to the benefit of the buyer and the seller.
Kevin actually had a program that he put in place back then too, back in the day. It was something taking it to a step further, like a pre-inspected and things like that.
So we still offer the property pre-qual, which is essentially everything that I just mentioned, but it includes a full home inspection done on behalf of a prospective buyer. And the reason that you'd want to do that and the advantage there is if the property is, let's say it's a little bit older, if something's going to come up, it's going to come up. If the seller goes ahead and orders a property pre-qual and does that full home inspection, then the buyer can adopt that inspection. It's a choice, but if the buyer adopts that inspection, the buyer then receives all the warranties and guarantees of that inspection, and they don't have to pay the full inspection cost. They can still get their 4-point and wind mitigation reports for a small fee. They could even tour the property with the inspector for an additional small fee. But it gets you moving closer to the finish line sooner. And it's not one of the inspections that's done to benefit the seller. It's a true full home inspection with all the warranties and guarantees done by our inspection partner, Rock Solid Home Inspections.
And the deal there too, so when you think about for sale by owners, and we're going to get to the NAR settlement too, because there's a lot of misinformation and just confusion around the real estate industry right now because of the National Association of Realtor settlement that took place, and things are implementing now. They're literally implementing now. But you know, on that topic too, I was thinking about for sale by owners. You know, a lot of times, especially 18 months ago, 24 months ago, you know, finding the buyer is not the challenge. Keeping the deal in place, because I think it's something like 2/3 of the deals, Jenny, don't wind up at the closing table with the same terms, with the same price. There's always some type of negotiation that happens.
Yes, well, at Insured Title, obviously, we see the back and forth because once you go under contract, we get the contract, and then if there's any changes or amendments, we get them. Then if there's any questions or problems at the closing table, it's happening at our closing table. And so I think I made this analogy before, but I feel like it stands true, and maybe it's more for the ladies, but listen, I could get a pair of scissors and cut my own bangs. Just because I can do it doesn't mean I should do it. And the ladies out there know absolutely you should not. So there is an advantage to bringing a trained, educated, seasoned real estate professional to your transaction. Can you sell your home on your own? Yes. Can you buy a house without representation? Yes. In our experience and even in the data, are you a seller getting top market value? Typically, no. And are you buyer getting everything that you thought you were getting? Typically, no. There is a reason to bring someone to the situation that has education, training, experience, certifications. And so here's my opinion about the NAR settlement and the changes that you're now going to be experiencing when you're working with a real estate agent is really the biggest change is that a couple of attorneys in Missouri got rich. Okay? The way that business is going to be done remains the same. So if you want to sell a house, if you want to buy a house, the process is basically going to be the same. The only difference is going to be that you as a buyer, when you're working with a buyer's representative, they're going to sit down and have a consultation with you, and you're going to sign an agreement saying you are the agent I would like to select as my representation for this transaction. So it really should be not who picked up my phone call because I called Zillow. It really should be a conversation. And what you should expect of that agent. So when you sit down for this consultation, you need to hear from this agent. What are you going to do for me? And how are you coming to this situation prepared to do that?
Yeah.
So I attended a continuing education class, Insured Title sponsored at Greater Tampa Realtors last week. And it was called Taking the BS Out of the Buyer's Agency Agreement.
Nice.
So it was obviously for agents, but here's what I want consumers to understand about these changes is there's nothing wrong with having a formality to a relationship with a trained and licensed professional.
Right.
And so instead of just taking, this person agreed to show me this house within an hour, so yay, here we go. Instead, what you really should want as a buyer is to have an agent who comes prepared to this conversation and who shows you and proves to you that they are going to be a representative that's capable of representing your needs in this transaction. Yeah. And so something very interesting that the presenter said is almost all agents are taught, establish a rapport, ask lots of questions, let's be friends. But at the end of the day, I don't need to be your friend.
Right.
Okay? We're probably not going to be friends. And if we are, yay. Awesome. I am a friendshipper. Everybody who knows me would say I'm the person that wants to make friends with everyone. But you don't always choose your friends to be your stockbroker, to be your doctor, to be your hairstylist, because what you want is the best.
Right.
So whether or not we become friends should not be the number one concern in this transaction. It should be, am I an agent that comes to this transaction with a proven success record that can show you numbers, that can talk to you about how this process is going to work, and also how am I prepared to help you with that? Yeah. Have I done continuing education? Do I have additional certifications? Have I interacted as a real estate agent above and beyond just doing a little of this and a little of that? This is where you're really going to want to say, what are your credentials?
Right.
How are you prepared to truly represent me in this transaction? And then the biggest thing that he said that I don't think I've heard anyone else say is, as a buyer, you're making an investment. Potentially one of the largest investments of your life, a home, and the largest opportunity to grow wealth for yourself and your family. So you should be able to talk numbers with this agent.
Yep.
If I buy at this, what kind of growth am I looking for in this area? What do you think my investment value will be increased? What will my property value look like in the next couple of years? How much do I have to spend to get into a house at this price range? You should be able to talk these numbers with your agent, and they should have the knowledge and the acumen about the area that you are looking to purchase in.
Yeah.
And because you're not friends, if that person doesn't have the answers that you need, you should probably look for someone else.
Yeah, a negotiator, someone that can negotiate, someone that knows the market, local real estate economist of choice. Every area, every zip code, they want to know. You want to know the appreciation, which Jennie just referred to, the number of homes that are actually selling, all the different challenges. There's been stories where people bought a home thinking they could short-term rent, Airbnb it. Oh, nope, you can't do that. I remember hearing a story, too, where they thought they had access to a certain swimming pool, but they didn't. It was a different HOA because sometimes you have a master's HOA, then sometimes you have a separate HOA inside that HOA. So, it's a lot more than just, who's going to be friendly and et cetera, who's going to open that door. I think that's the challenge. Right. A lot of times they would call up, they'd want to have that door open, and they get mad or pissy, say it, if, that realtor didn't jump to their feet and do that on a Sunday afternoon. We got to take a quick break there. More with Jennie Restrepo coming up, though. Insured Title Agency, true crime and myth busting today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Getting into some details. I want to hear a good true crime story, too, when we come back, Jennie. So let's think about one. Also, feel-good story of the day. We're going to do it segment 2 this time. Parents reveal the pros and cons of having adult kids still living at home. Feel-good story coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Couple of hot listings, and we're going to go back into our conversation with Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Interesting story about adults, kids moving back into their parents' homes. So interesting content coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a property on C. Robin in St. Petersburg, 3615 C. Robin. We got a investor that did a complete remodel here, beautifully tiled, backsplash, beautiful flooring, lighter colors. I like it. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,485 square feet, remodeled single-family home. Luxury vinyl flooring, open floor plan, stainless steel appliances, and lots of updates. 10 minutes from downtown St. Petersburg. Got another listing here at 10413 Main Street, Winona Sassy. Got some more vacant land for sale. Vacant land. We do sell vacant land, commercial properties, and residential properties, of course. This one on Main Street in Winona Sassy is 3.63 acres of land. The commercial property zoning is PD, and great opportunity. Blank slate. Build your business there and building and investment opportunity. Great opportunity here. You can see all of our listings, platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we're doing our feel-good story a little earlier today.
Tell me something good.
All right, a survey of 2,000 parents with adult children living at home found that 85% are happy to have their children back. Wow, okay, that seems a little bit high for me. I don't know. We'll see. Of these parents, 42% of had children that moved out initially, mostly to live with independently, attend college, live with a partner. But many returned due to financial constraints. While some parents, 27%, weren't financially prepared for their children's return, only 19% reported a negative impact on their finances. The arrangement more often improved relationships. 45% improved the relationship, providing a chance to teach financial lessons. Most parents believe their children will stay for another 16 months. About 56% doubt their kids' current financial readiness. The survey highlights the importance of financial education, with parents emphasizing saving, budgeting, paying down debt, and investing. So there's our feel-good story, kind of interesting take there, and I think it's probably partial due to the economy and the jobs that were there now. Currently, you see a lot of people working 2 and 3 jobs. They have a side gig as an Uber delivery or et cetera. But yeah, what's your take on that story? What do you think? What does that translate?
Well, I feel like prices have never been what they've been, and wages have stayed the same.
Yeah.
And so honestly, young people starting off and trying to create an independent life are at a disadvantage in this version of the world, more so than even when I was going to college and going out on my own. So honestly, I think the sooner that you start talking to your kids about finances, and you can actually set up a credit card, put your kids on it while they're minors, pay it on time, and then they come out of school with they're 18 years old with excellent, perfect credit because they have credit history. That is a thing that is possible to do for your kids. But financial responsibility starts from the top, and I mean, I might get someone else to help me make sure that my daughter gets. I won't say that I'm 100% responsible, but I do know a real life story where a young man at 21 years old was able to purchase his own home all by himself, no one else on title, no one co-signing a loan for him, because his parents allowed him to stay living at home from 18 to 21. He had a job, he worked, he saved his own money. Didn't hurt that his dad is a real estate agent, but he was able to buy his own home, and then his dad helped him fix it up. So home ownership is truly one of the steadfast ways to begin to build wealth for yourself and to build an independent lifestyle. But as we know as homeowners, you have to be prepared for all of that too, know how to pay bills and create your accounts and set up your utilities. And so I highly encourage you. My daughter is 9 going on 10 going on 25 because she's constantly angling for a job and all kinds of stuff. So, the sooner that Brandon and I were actually just talking, I was almost going to bring her today. It's the sooner that your kids understand about working and how to participate on that level. And my daughter, since she's a baby, has gone to real estate closings and showings and board meetings at Greater Tampa Realtors. So the sooner that they kind of understand how the world works, she knows how to navigate her way around the airport. Because I taught her.
That's great.
They're sponges. They learn whether they ask questions or not. Mine asks lots of questions.
They sure do. All right, we're talking with Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title, and we're talking about true crime and myth busting. What's the latest in the true crime side of things?
I always come with a fresh story. Fortunately, unfortunately. So the latest news story that I know I haven't shared yet is another one of our agent partners. She busted a fraudster because she's been working with us for a while. We talk about what do we do. I've been talking to her about vacant land fraud scams and forewarn. She's also an experienced agent, and she said her spidey sense went off right away because this gentleman is saying this is his name, and so as soon as he says his name, she's pulling it up in the public record, so she has it on the screen in front of her, and she's asking basic questions that he couldn't even answer about, like, where do you live now? What's the mailing address? And essentially she knew she had a scammer, so she tried to get as much information out of this person as possible. Good. And then the conclusion of the conversation was, okay, we'll work on that paperwork and get it over to you. But one of the biggest red flags was he said, she asked him, how much do you want to list this property for? Do you have a dollar amount in mind? And he said, I'm thinking like $220 for acreage on the Hillsborough River. So if you don't know, if that doesn't set it off for you because you're not an agent, that's is ridiculous. Low. And so one thing that these scammers try to do is they don't care because it's 100% profit for them. Right. And so they will suggest a price that is below market value in hopes of getting it listed and sold fast. Yeah. And so that's definitely a red flag because usually sellers are like, $7 million. Yeah, exactly. Like, me too. But so Katrina knew what was going on in that situation. She went ahead and concluded the conversation and then used Forewarn, which is a free app provided by Florida Realtors to all agents in the state of Florida, including Brandon and his team, so that they have access and have used it before. Love it. To track down the correct and proper owner, contact him directly, let him know what was going on, and then she also suggested to him to get signed up with Property Fraud Alert for free because this criminal wasn't able to pull a fast one on her, but that doesn't mean that he was going to hang up that call and not try again with someone else. Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, online, Jennie Restrepo, you can check her out online. What's the coordinates? At Insured Title Agency on Facebook and Instagram, and then insured-title.com, or give us a call, 813-855-3585. All right, insured-title.com, online at consumerqb.com. You can see Jennie's information and contact there as well. All right, Jennie, another great show. Good stuff. Was that Katrina Madewell by chance? It is. My friend Katrina. All right, fellow radio show host. All right, good stuff. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. And we'll see you out and about doing a lot of networking. I know you're out there networking. I want to start coming to your new
meetup group too, so that'll be
Yes.
fun. All right, coming up, we got Nick Schriver, Decorating Elves, coming back on the show. Later on, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, a.k.a. the Tin Man. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Brandon BRimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We got our friend Nick Schriver joining us in studio. Decorating Elves is his company, longtime friend of the program. We can talk with him. Also, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. He's our contractor extraordinaire. We're talking with him here in just a little bit. Quick shout out to our friends over at Heights Soft Wash. Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. They do a great job here in Tampa Bay. Ramin Kazami with HeightsSoftWash.com. You can check him out online. HeightsSoftWash.com for all of your pressure washing needs, residential and commercial. They do a really good job. All right, a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We like to feature our real estate properties. Part of our strategy is to help sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit. 13651 Croft Drive North. This one's in Largo. Croft Drive North in Largo. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,066 square feet, and a remodeled home here. Single-family home that's been remodeled. You're just minutes from Indian Rocks Beach. You have updated luxury vinyl flooring, naturally lit room with natural lighting coming through, stainless steel appliances, white cabinet, spacious island, bathroom that showcases new tile, countertops, and cabinets as well. Great opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, we got another listing here in St. Pete. This one's at 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, almost 1,300 square feet. And you are in close proximity to downtown St. Petersburg. You're close to the beaches there as well. You have a stunning fireplace, real wood flooring, and high ceilings. 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in Tampa Bay and investing in one of the hottest markets in the country. Best place to live, work, and play, Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, we got Nick Schriver back here in studio with us, Decorating Elves. Nick, what is new over at Decorating Elves? How are things been?
Things have been great, man. It's been a hot summer, but, we've been diligently working. Right around the corner, we're going to be into the fall season before we know it. I know a lot of listeners are out there commuting. They're probably sweating, got the sun in their face, and they're thinking, oh, my goodness, when is this summer going to maybe give them some reprieve? Well, before they know it, it's going to be football season. The heat's going to start coming off, and then we're going to be right into holiday season. And holiday season for us starts with Halloween, but typically that means we're starting about a month early. Mm-hmm. So usually we're starting mid to late September on that stuff. And yes, we are guilty of doing it too early. So if you've got a problem with doing it too early, you're gonna, I'm your guy. I'm the guy you can point a finger at.
But it's fun.
Listen, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It makes everybody feel good. And, we're not the retailers. We're not putting it out there in your face too early. We're just taking care of things. We're getting things done. People pay for our service. They want to be able to use it for the entire season. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're up to right now. And then that rolls right into, mid-October, November. Then we start getting into the Christmas stuff. You start seeing that stuff. And listen, we're not out there trying to make it too early. We're out there trying to get a lot of work done that we have to get done, and then turn it on when it's on the right time. So, a lot of customers out there, a lot of people are thinking, oh my goodness, I need to do that. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving, we get closer to December, they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to do it whatever weekend it is, and then it's good to go. Like, we are actually going to start hanging lights in a couple of weeks, and then we just plug them in, we turn them the colors we want, we do that whole thing. And most of the people don't realize that the lights are already up, they're already doing their thing, they're already ready to go, and then you just power them on. So for a lot of people out there that aren't ready for that yet, I'm sorry, but hey, we're almost there. As soon as football kicks off, it's right around the corner. So that's coming. It's right around. All this is right around the corner. And not to make it too fast for you guys. I know you guys are out there thinking, this guy, man, we're not even done with summer yet. But listen, it's close. And the sooner you can plan for things out in the future, the easier it becomes, the better it gets taken care of, the better we're able to give you service. And so think about all of that stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to football season as well. Florida Gators, we're going to be going to a lot of football games. So Lindsay and I represent 90 pre-construction luxury units in Gainesville. So condos, luxury condos, 1 mile from the stadium. So the developers bought us game tickets. We're going to be going to all the home games up there. So
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. And I grew up liking the Florida Gators, and played for the University of South Florida. So it was a little bit of a paradigm shift for me when they became the competitors. All of a sudden at 18 years old. But yeah, Gainesville, a lot of fun up there, and Florida games, and all across the state. Well,
I hear there's a lot of growth up in that area. Residential, and it's Gainesville, from what I understand, and I'm not super familiar, is a really, really great town.
Yeah.
But I am not the guy to ask about that, because that is not where my allegiance lie. But I am a diehard Tampa Bay lover. I've been here for 2 full decades. So I definitely love the Bucks. I definitely love the Rays. But my favorite team in the Tampa Bay area is the Rowdies.
Okay.
So, I'm throwing a little bit of love out there for the Rowdies. I'm a huge soccer fan. I love the Rowdies. They're my favorite team. A couple of weeks ago, they were down by 2 in the first half, and they rallied to tie it up at halftime. They took the lead on a direct kick as one of their main players, the goalie, got kicked off. It was a direct kick. The place went nuts. I love the Rowdies. It's so much fun. They ended up winning that game 4-2. But yeah, if we're talking local sports, I might be a little outside of what most people think. Listen, the Bucks are awesome too, and I hope Baker has a great year.
I think he will. I think it's going to be interesting because when you have that camaraderie, you have the receivers back, you got a lot of the your skill positions. Hey, I think it could be. You got to have that offensive line.
I know this is about helping people with professional business, but there's nothing better than having a good fun with our local teams. If you love your local teams, you love hanging out, at least you like, get out and mix it up with people. So hopefully people are doing their drive commute, are definitely looking forward to that. I think Baker's got a great shot, I love his, just his general attitude. There's just something fun about Baker and that confidence and how people just kind of rally around him. And you never count him out, Baker's one of those guys that the opposing defense has to finish if they want to win those games against him, because he will just keep going and going and going. It's one of the things I love about Baker. It's one of the things I love about this area is the people that live here, the sports teams, the people that live here, the business that live here, they always take it to the finish. When you find those that have been here a long time and they look into what makes us Tampa Bay residents, what brings us all together, is everybody goes to the finish. Like, they finish, they're good, they're hardworking people, they're out there enjoying it, they love this community, they're here for a reason, whether they're transplants or they've been here a super long time. People are here because they want to be, and they're here because they love it, and it's just great when you get out and you mix it up and you see people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Nick Schriver. Decorating Elves is the company, decoratingelves.com. You can find them online there. And we talk about in real estate, too, the appreciation factor and the ability to showcase these higher-end homes. And a lot of times you'll see the night vision, or not night vision, but the night photo shoot, the twilight shoots, and it just, the homes pop when they have this outdoor lighting on it.
And it's amazing that you bring that up, because it's something that we've been working on as a company, because everybody knows this is Decorating Elves, and they know Decorating Elves does holiday lighting, they do Christmas lighting, and we're always coming on here talking about outdoor lighting. So actually back in the spring, we started putting a brand together, and this brand is called Marvelux, and actually the first time I'm introducing you to it. And so we have a brand that's part of our team called Marvelux, and that is specific to outdoor lighting, landscape lighting, and outdoor lighting design. And what we're trying to do with that is we're trying to represent good, high-quality, design-centric outdoor lighting that enhances outdoor living space, that helps turn that outdoor living space into an outdoor room. So like you were mentioning, on these homes, on these nicer homes and stuff, it's the ability to go into your backyard and have that backyard be an outdoor room. And whether that's just the lanai, or that's a outdoor kitchen area, or that's a patio area, or a large area where you can play with your pets, or a large area where you play with your children, or your children's play area, or your dock, or any one of these outdoor functions, these arbors. It's taking lighting, it's enhancing those outdoor rooms, enhancing those settings, and making them more enjoyable, more usable, and better. Because you guys are in the real estate business, you know that you sell these properties by the square foot. Everybody says, what's the square footage price? What's the square footage price? What's the square footage price? It's how they compare one to the other. But one of the things they overlook is all of the other amenities that this property or these properties may have. And so it's like, all right, well, that square footage is worth this square footage versus this one versus that one. I'm not the best guy to go through that, but I know that's how that gets done, and a lot of people view that. But there are so many more features because we use our space in the entirety of that yard, especially in residential single family. We're using the yard, we're using the patio, we're using the pool, we're using the lanai, we're using the outdoor kitchen. We're using all of these rooms outdoors. And a lot of times, yeah, they may be in the descriptions, but they're not in the square footage. So, there's something to go to there, and we help people use those outdoor spaces, and that's just in the backyard, right? We haven't even talked about how amazing they look from the street.
Yeah, exactly. And and a lot of times when people get drawn into that idea or that conversation around dollar per square foot, they are forgetting some of the lot sizes are bigger. Somebody has a bigger lot or a cul-de-sac lot or water frontage or the decorating elves setup as well.
Yeah, they've got the amazing lighting package, right? And so, I briefly heard the earlier segment was they were just talking about how it was important to use professionals. And I'm not the guy to go into further detail on that because I'm a lighting guy. I know what I do really well. I know how to do business well. I love promoting the community in the area. So, when you get into working with professionals, right, it's really key to hone in on that. So they're going to help you find those. But I know for us, doing lighting, making architectural beautiful, making outdoor spaces more beautiful, so that when you turn the corner and you see your house from afar, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Our goal is to make your house more usable, more presentable, more enjoyable, have you love it as well as use it when you get home in those after hours. Because a lot of us, man, it's a hard day at work. It's a hard day taking care of the family. It's a hard day with the kids. And you want to enjoy that property. You want to enjoy your castle, right? You want to come home and be like, that's mine. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Lighting is something that sets that apart. And if you have a beautiful house, you've taken the time and energy, you know what it's about, you know it looks amazing, have us help you make it look amazing at night. And that's really what we succeed. It's one of the reasons that we've started this other brand is to help people understand the more specifics, that we're not just doing Christmas lights out there, right? We do lighting outdoors in all different avenues, in all different aspects, in all different ways. And we really help people enjoy their nighttime environment by using lighting, by making it simple. And it's a very quick transition, and it's a very quick payback for lots and lots of people.
Yeah, that's good. You get your money back on it. Nick, that's almost our time for today. Where do you want people to connect with you at?
1-800-MY-LIGHTS. That's 1-800-MYLITES and www.decoratingelves, decoratingelves.com.
800-MY-LIGHTS. You can reach them there, LITES on the spelling there. And Nick Schriver, always a pleasure having you in, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, coming up, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum on the program, a.k.a. the Tin Man. We got Fred back on the show. It's been a little while, and we're going to catch up with him, talk about contractor business and some of the other things happening in that space here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon BRimes 1 at CQB Show. And, of course, the Rumble and YouTube channel is where you can subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be alerted to all of our new video content that is dropping. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify.
All right, Brandon BRimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team, and we always feature our listings live on air. We got a property on Seagate Street. This one's in Spring Hill. Great opportunity to own real estate. When you buy up in the northern part of the Tampa Bay area, you're getting more bang for your buck, more value. This one's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,608 square feet at 12377 Seagate Street, Spring Hill. A great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. This one has recent upgrades, including new roof and drain field. You have stainless steel appliances, built-in ovens, bay window, 15 to 20 minutes from public boat ramps. You can dock your boat there over at and direct access to the Gulf of Mexico, 15-20 minutes away. In-ground pool, great opportunity here. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Hello, Brandon. Hello, Alex. It's the Brandon Alex Show. Haven't seen you guys in a while. How are you?
What's up, Fred?
Yeah, buddy. Doing well. Yourself?
Very good. Absolutely good. We dodged a bullet last Sunday, man. Debbie came and went. Got us wet, but we didn't see a lot of damage. I'm so glad about that. You know, we're in the screen business, but we don't need the storm work. It's not the best work out there. I'm glad to hear the storm went by and didn't create too many problems. Did you get significant damage anywhere near your house, Brandon?
Not our house. We did have some heavy wind and rains, and luckily no flooding. Just I know some people have gotten some flooding. I've talked to a few different people today, and people.
South Tampa gets wet. South Tampa gets significantly wet. Hey, I was listening to Nick. I've got to get together with him. I haven't talked to him in a while. Nick with Decorating Elves. We've got to get him to use that infamous term, the in-between space. I got to talk to him. That's your term. Yeah, he's good. I see his product in a lot of these cages. It really enhances the inside of the cage very nice. And the cage looks the way it looks in the daytime, and at nighttime it's a whole different concept.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's, if you aren't familiar with Tampa Screens and Aluminum, they can put on your screens, any type of screen room, your pool cages, and the patio, the porch, the lanai. We kind of dubbed it the in-between space, Fred.
That's right. Well, we're doing a little bit of retractable motorized screens at this point. They're pretty nice. We got a lot of call for that, so we got involved with that. I'm sure you've seen them, the ones that roll up and down with the motors.
Yeah.
I can go maybe at 14, 15, 18-foot span with a nice retractable screen. This way in the daytime you roll it up, you don't see it. At nighttime you drop it down when the bugs are out. Just beautiful. They're not inexpensive. They're fairly pricey, but you know what? I went to the store the other day, paid almost $5 for a can of lentil soup. I don't feel so bad about charging the prices that I charge anymore.
I know, right? It's unbelievable. The cost of almost everything is just unbelievable through the roof.
Yeah, hopefully that'll change in November.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
I know you are. So, we're doing a lot of work. We're still very busy, even though the economy's slowed down a little bit. Getting a lot of calls, and a lot of the calls we're getting is to convert the 20, 30-year-old cage, take that down and go back with a panoramic view cage. You're familiar with the panoramic view. They're the ones with the large openings. Boy, that looks nice. If you have a nice backdrop to your yard, it drops off to say a lake or pond or maybe a golf course. If you take that pool cage and you 75 feet across, whatever, with 10 panels. Now we can go 75 feet across with 3 panels in the back. It just is a very, very nice concept. It's a little more expensive than the standard cage, but I think it's well worth it, and it obviously brings up the value of the home. I think you would see that in your real estate business as well. When you see these cages with the open view on the back, I think your appraised value goes up a little bit. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that gives you that wonderful ambiance, and you're adding on value to the home, the resale value, the enjoyability, and safety as well. I love it.
I love it too. And there's a different fabric that they use on them. They use what's called a poly fabric. It's got more stretch, more give to it. Because these pool cages, they actually expand and contract in the heat. And as the metal moves, and you have a real big, large panel, you want that fabric to bend and basically roll along with the metal that moves. And it does. It moves very well. It's poly fabric, sometimes called super screen. It's a real plus when you have that open space in the back. I've seen cages out there where they have extra wide panels. They use standard fabric, and in some cases the metal will move. It will tear the fabric because the standard fabric has no give to it. A lot of cases I see when they roll the fabric in, initially it may be cool out, and they roll it in. Then the expansion and contraction comes along, and you see the fabric actually loosen up in the frame. And you get these bellies in the fabric. That doesn't look good. That's why the poly fabric and or super screen is such an advantage for these extra large openings, because it's truly when you go right up to it, you can push your hands into it and it moves. It flexes out and comes right back. It's a very well engineered product. I'm not sure if you've seen that poly fabric. I should swing by someday and show you some of these samples that we have. Boy, it's just a nice product.
Yeah, maybe on the 15th we'll see you at the Gratitude Party, the Tampa Bay Brewing Company, Thursday, August 15th.
Yeah, I will be there. I missed your last one, and my apologies. I had a medical situation I had to get straightened out real quick, and it threw me upside down. But that's the way it is. But I got the next one on the list.
Oh, that's good. That's good. If you just joined us, we're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and another great example of supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our local area Bay area owners and sales executives, sales reps, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors. So many ways we help you on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fred, we got about a minute left. Final thoughts and what else?
But I always like to make the statement, when you're bidding out a project, homeowner to homeowner, I say to them, please make sure you ask plenty of questions. Do not feel intimidated about asking the questions. Do not feel that you're annoying somebody by asking the questions. You're actually doing that representative a favor, because we like to cover everything when we go into a project, disclose everything, all the ups and downs. And if there's something that we miss and the homeowner decides to ask that question, we can answer that before the project is built. That eliminates the possibility of a big surprise on the back end. And I think that's one of the worst things in the construction industry, is when the product is done, the job is built, and something's not right. That's called the surprise that we try to eliminate. So everybody with our company thinks the way I do. We all like to disclose everything. Keep it simple does not work in the construction business. You don't want to keep it that simple. You want to make sure everybody understands how it's going to go.
Yeah, right on. And reach out. And how do you want them to connect with you?
I always like to mention the phone number, 813-960-7064 is our best method of communication.
960-7064, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Thanks for joining us today, my friend.
See you on the 15th. Bye.
Yes, sir. All right, hey, another great show. We had Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title, Nick Schriver, as well as Fred Muth. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.